So, let's talk a little bit about politics and Corona. Start with Corona. We've got a few things to say. But let's first talk about Brazil. The president of Brazil, Jair Bolsanaro, who basically has out-Trumped Trump, not only did he support kind of rallies of people against the coronavirus, he went to them. His actions have caused the death of people because some people go out without protection because the president doesn't care. Why should I care? Ironically, he now has coronavirus. And I was thinking, it's very common that presidents will do things that will disproportionately hurt the poor and look down on them. But it's very rare that would happen to them. It's almost like the president be like, police brutality is nothing. I don't care about that shit. And then the police whip his ass. That doesn't happen every day. So him getting coronavirus, now it could just be a little something, he's a little sick, it could kill him, right? If it doesn't kill him, I hope it makes him really, really sick. Even with the coronavirus, he vetoed a law that would help indigenous people in the Amazon who have no resources get clean drinking water and PPE. Due to Brazil's system, it can still go through if Congress revotes, which they probably will, and both parties agree to it. But how big of a douchebag do you have to be? So he doesn't like people in the Amazon. Why? Because the same reason he encouraged the burning of the Amazon. Because the land itself is highly sought after by loggers and just meat herders or whatever, cow herders. And these natives had some immunity just to stay away from them before Bolsonaro. It's interesting, it's interesting because it's always I don't think he's stupid. People aren't stupid. He's just kind of aligned himself with the moneyed super douchebag interests, I guess. And what does a near-death experience do to you? If he gets close to death, will that change him? Or will he be like, oh, I made it. Fuck everybody, I still need to make my money. I don't know. But a lot of people have died because of him. I have a very dear friend to me. I adore her. And she's a diehard fan. And she comes from some money, but she's a sweetheart. And I think that a lot of times when we align ourselves with the president because of some of his policies or because of a thought that we have about him, it's kind of hard to go against that. I saw with Obama, I see it with Trump. Once you're involved, you don't want to say, I was wrong. I totally shouldn't have voted for that douchebag. And yes, I do believe that both Obama and Trump were douchebags. That's just my standards. We can get into more details later about that. Speaking about Trump, he is threatening to sue, or he's threatening to deport foreign students that are doing online schooling. What's up with that? We're in the middle of a pandemic. They're doing online students because everyone has to do it. The Ivy League, was it Harvard? Maybe it's Harvard and Stanford, are suing him, saying that he's doing that because he wants us to start school again. Because if school starts and more people go back, then it will make more normalcy. And either it's a good thing or it's a bad thing, but Trump wants the perception of normalcy so he can say, hey, look, I beat Corona, please vote for me again. I think it's everything he does. Everything he does either about money for his friends or about the re-election. And so, I've never in my life had politics mixing with health, really. A little bit, these bills and the Planned Parenthood before we get that, but not like this, not like a pandemic. People are dying because of politicians' whims and desires. Speaking of which, I have a theory that's actually, I don't know. So I guess it's not really liberal, it's not really Republican, but it's a theory, and if I'm right, it'll be good for everybody. I'm gonna say a theory in my next video. But first, let's talk about I'll talk about Kanye in another video too.